Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Clock Hour. I have a very, very, very special guest. And I call all my guests special because they are. Everybody is unique in their own way and they do certain things. I realize that I know a lot of people. And this guest, I've been waiting to get her on here just so y'all can see what I have saw and hear what I have heard. See, we come a long way. She schooled me. I think I met her like 20 years ago. I think it was like 20 years ago. Miss Coco Davis, all the way from Chicago. Holla.
Oh, we is glad to be here. Thank you for having me here. I
I
really appreciate it.
appreciate you. And you know what? Look,
Woo! That's right. Free her.
I'm going to leave this
That's
open
wonderful.
now. But
That's wonderful. Wow. Yeah, we have
I
came a long
got you
way.
here. I got you here. You know, I want you to tell people how we met.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Where do I start? So let me just start from the beginning. It was 2002 when I was transferred to Danbury, Connecticut. I had got sentenced to 262 months, and um, and they sent me to Danbury from Chicago. I think it was like in 2000, maybe four, where me and Mr. Kendall first made contact with each other.
Right.
Uh, and he was one of the officers on the unit, and every time he would come by, he would say something sarcastic, and I would hit him back with it, So me and him were always just go head to head, and he would always say, well, that's my Chi-Town people right there. So he
Yeah.
gave me the name. What's up, Chi-Town? Which it was more women there from Chicago, but I was just privileged to be called Chi-Town Finest, right?
Right.
So I gave him a name, but I'm not even going to say the name that I gave him.
Not like Mikkel. Mikkel gave me one too, right?
Yeah, because me and this dude right here used to go at it all the time. He was one of the realest cat that I had ran across, while doing this time. He always treated us like a woman. Like the women that was all there, he treated us like we was human. He didn't look at none of us like a number.
That
And I
was my
think that
family, really.
yeah, but your mind have been so conditioned to
Right.
treat inmates is what they call us, a certain type of way.
Right.
So after we kept hearing you call us by our last name, and some of us by our nickname that you have given us, we had so much respect for this man. A lot
Right.
of the stuff, we didn't have no respect for him. And we didn't
Right.
care what we say to them. But this one cat here, Mr. Ken, we were like, hey, we're gonna tell our help to this dude right here.
Right.
So, he treated us like the black queens that we are. He didn't look at
Right.
us, and we would just sit down in the kitchen, the cafeteria, and we would just chop it up, and we would
Right.
just keep it real, we would pour out things that we're going through as mothers, as wives, as baby mothers, as grandmothers. We would just pour all that onto this man, and he would just sit there and listen to us, you
Right.
know, and he didn't have an understanding in how did the system and how could a system send so many black women to prison for that length of time.
Right.
And
That it
and he
blew my
wanted to
mind,
know,
really. I,
and so that was just something that he was just like passionate to know, how did you get to where you are? He took
right.
that time out to just try to figure the women out. So not only did we learn from this brother was learning from us,
Because I was
and how
scared.
we,
Be
yeah,
honest with you, I was scared.
yeah, I know. We had to protect them. We had to protect them. We seen it, we seen it, and for those women that really, really had it out for him, we was protecting him from
Right.
them what we call them demons,
Right.
just look for themselves. This is a brother that's, just want to do good and want to see us do good, and to keep our head up. He would give us something to motivate us every time he come on a unit. Every time we know that he here, we see him walking across the compound. We like, go, Mr. Kennel. Our spirit was lifted up, and that's crazy,
Right.
right? But we got through our days just to know that Mr. Kennel was coming to work because we had somebody that we can talk to. We had somebody that we could trust to tell our problems to, that was
Right.
going to give us 110% straight answer. He
Right.
wasn't finna try kick it to the side. He was shooting straight from the hip with us, and I
Right.
really,
Right.
until this day, I've been home now like 9 years now, and look at this man. He's still in contact with everyone.
Right.
That's
You are my inside Chicago thing. The news can't tell me what you can tell me. If I
Right,
need to
right.
know something about Chicago and they talk about Chicago, I said, well, I don't really believe everything that the news is saying, so I call you and I ask you because you are doing your thing out there. You have what do you got a couple of things set up and you got I don't know what do you call it? You
Let's get
tell
to it then. Let's get to it. Let's
yeah.
get to it.
What are you
What?
doing? First of all, there's the
Oh,
book. There's the
oh,
book.
oh, the
What's the
book.
book called?
The book is called Honor Thy Bitch.
I dig it.
Yeah,
I dig
you,
it.
you,
And we could get that on Amazon or anywhere.
yeah, you can get on Amazon, or you can just, hit me up at my email at talktomefoundation@gmail.com, or you could
Right.
go on talktomefoundation.org and you can order the book from me. I
Okay.
haven't been out there doing, what I'm supposed to do in regards to the book
Send
because
me
I've been
the
so
info. I
focused.
got you.
Yes, yes, no problem.
Hmm.
I will get it to you as soon as possible.
Right.
But so let's get into it. What it is
Right.
that I do and where I came from. So let me just start and sum this up as much as possible because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you because your viewers needs to know
Right.
that it's 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 a blessing behind everything that you do. Faith without work is dead. So my mind was already set to put in some work when I got home. I
Right.
just didn't know that once upon my release, I was going to be coming home to a foreclosed house, right? And I was trying to figure out once I got served in the halfway house, I was trying to figure out now what do I do next? Because like I'm all new to this. It's like a baby being reborn. That's
Right.
how I felt. But they served me, let me know that my house was in foreclosed, and that's the same house that I was released to. So that was it took a big toll on me. I didn't know if I was gonna have a nervous breakdown or not, right? Because I had never had a breakdown, before, and I
Right.
thought that the breakdown was gonna come while I was inside prison when they gave me all that time, but it didn't because God had something else for me to do, right?
Right.
So I held on to that. But needless to say, I had to figure a way out to get the house out of foreclosure so I can have a place to stay.
Okay.
So, I just think I thank God for my two beautiful daughters that I left at the age of 10 and 8. They picked me up. It was 24 and 22. I was so shocked that these kids are now grown, and they picking their mother up from gosh, so and it was it hurted me to just take some funds from them, but they were saving for this day for their mother. They were saving.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
would say, So I got out. I started driving Uber, trying to, stay above water, not to get in some trouble. I was getting hit with all type of illegal shit, but I'm like, no, that's not what God want me to do. And you niggas is bogus for trying to put something in my hand that can potentially cause me to go back,
Right.
because
Right. It's
I'm a
easy
hustler
to get in
on
the
train.
game.
Yeah,
It's easy.
it's so easy. I'm just keeping it real. Don't think that not one time that I didn't think about it.
Of course.
I already knew what I can do and I knew how to do it. But I knew that if I do it, I'm not going to stop.
Right.
Money, you
Right.
know? And money, the love of money is the root to all evil, right?
Right.
So I'm like, no, I'm not going to put my hand on that because I know if I start, I'm not going to stop. And I can't hurt those girls again, right? So, I just kept on doing the Uber until I got on my feet. My kids came up with, gave me the money. We got the house out of foreclosure, right? And I started just doing my thing, right? So I popped the house off, meaning, in your word, I sold the property. Sold the property, had so much equity in it, it was ridiculous, right? I said,
Right.
and I'm going to take this money and I'm going to flip it. So I sold the house. I said, now I need to focus on my baby, my organization. So my organization, for those that don't know, for the viewers, is the Talk to Me Foundation for kids whose parents are incarcerated. I deal with the kids because the kids are most definitely impacted by a mother being removed from the house or a father. You know,
Thank
I'm,
you.
I'm not going to say what's the problem. See, they talk so much about us, but they never talk
Right.
about the children. These kids' voices need to be heard. So I give kids that platform to talk about what's going on in their life because no child should be left alone or left behind. As our old president, 45th president said, no
Right.
child should be left behind, right? And so that's where I was at with the organization. So as the organization continued to grow, I started sending kids of incarcerated parents on prom, right?
Okay.
Because the parents wasn't there to provide for the child or to be able to watch their kids go off to prom or be able to help them in prom dresses, graduation, everything that goes. along with sending a child off on prom and off to college. That is the stuff that we that's the stuff that the Talk to Me Foundation do
Okay, good.
for
That's
the
that's
youth.
good.
You know, yeah. So I got the opportunity last year before last, before the COVID, to allow one of the parents that's in federal prison. She set up a phone call because they could do the video chat.
Right.
She set up a phone call and she got the opportunity for the first time, and this made history, went viral, to watch her child go on prom from the federal prison from my banquet hall. How about that? You tell me who did that. You tell me what organization did that.
I,
Right?
I
So
can't. Look, and my thing was, I used to hear so many people, they be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this when I go home, I'm gonna do this when I go home. And I used to look at them and be like, you don't have to tell me any tales. Like be straight up. If you ain't gonna do nothing, you ain't gotta tell me you gonna do something. You know what I mean? So to see your certain ones go home and do something to prevent someone from taking your path, that is a beautiful thing to me, because I'm like, okay, you're talking me to death. I'm not asking you to build me this beautiful outlook of you. I'm taking you for face value. And by the way, tell your sisters, send your sisters my love, and I ain't seen them in years. I'm gonna be back out there one day, but I think my man leaving that area. But I'm gonna be
okay.
back out there one day.
Well,
Send
you
your
know what?
sisters my love, though.
Just because he leaving don't stop you from coming.
Right. You're right. You're right.
All you do is come on and hang out with your girl. That's all, you know.
Right. You're right.
You know, but I
Yeah.
mean, whenever you feel like you're ready to come, my doors is open for you. Let me
You're
show you
right. You're
around. Let
right.
me show you
And
what
I
I'm doing.
appreciate it.
It's always a blessing. I know that you see a lot of stuff on Facebook, but it's such a blessing and a wonderful feeling to see things in person.
Right. You're
You know,
right.
just take a tour with me and see my day.
You're
You know,
right. You're right. And I told everybody, I said, I'm always willing to help. You need me to speak, I'll speak. I'll go anywhere and speak. It doesn't matter. If it's up and down the East Coast, I could do that. Not a problem. Flying, I could do that too if I got to do that. But if you need me, I am there. Now, you have something else going on. That's the Talk to Me Foundation. What else is attached to that?
oh, the Sister of Support House is where I'm at right now. I have a safe house for women who are coming home from prison. I wanted to open this safe house to give back to the ladies that look just like me. Because when I got out, I went to a halfway house, the Salvation Army, and when I tell you that I was treated so unfair, I was treated unfair. When I tell you they dehumanize us women, they criminalize. Every time they come in, they always had something to say to the women, but never to the brothers. So therefore, they focus pretty much on the men's. And I felt some type of way. So in my mind, because it was always in our mind to you either going to speak up or you're going to sit down. So when I started seeing all the things being catered to the men, I started speaking up about it. When we
Right.
go down to the resource room to fill out an application or to do our resume, I mean, the room is just filled with guys. There's no more computers left. So what about me? Right?
Right.
So upon being released from there, I decided to just give back to the community and open up a safe house. So now I have the first safe house, that holds 12 women, and and I'm just loving it, because I know firsthand what the ladies need to make it through. Women are very they hard. They believe me. We are some hard women to figure out, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I say to myself, oh, I should open this house for the guys because they want to give me all these problems. But my passion and my love for these sisters, I know that it's much needed, and they most definitely need a place to feel safe. It's not a transition house. It's not a halfway house. This is a safe house for women and girls.
So there's a length of time that they stay with you?
Well, see, I feel so good that I can run my house the way I want to.
Uh huh.
I'm not putting my sisters out unless they're ready to go. I give them up to a year. And after a year of them being here, I just reevaluate their case. If they need more time, that's what they're going to get. You know,
So, so you help them with everything,
we help
the
them with everything.
transitioning and
Yeah. So right
assistance and
now,
stuff like that?
Yeah, so right now, I'm rehabbing another unit. It's going to be the step down unit. So once they leave here and they are able to afford to rent an apartment,
Right.
they can transition into that.
Oh,
You know,
okay. Okay.
it's a work in progress. I got so much stuff going on, and not to mention, I got the business. Exquisite Premiere.
Right.
Everybody thought they weren't going to do it. That's the thing that I love so much because they didn't believe in me.
Right. Well, I did because you
They didn't
got the
believe in
gift. When you know what impresses me, I used to sit down with y'all and I just listen. I'm like,
me.
ooh, that's
Yeah,
that's talent to me. That
yeah,
means I could take you and put you anywhere and you can make things happen there.
absolutely,
That's what that
absolutely.
means. And I
Well,
picked up so much from you and our friend Michelle
Michelle West, my
that
sister.
I said I felt silly because I wasn't doing nothing outside at the time. I'm like, they're making more things happen from in here than I am, and I'm outside. So I
Yeah,
need to get off my backside and do what I gotta do. So that's what I did. So
yeah,
I credit y'all for what y'all did and being straight up about everything. I said, watch this. So I took and set up my company and everything. So I get it. And then I sent somebody to you because I knew you would let them know what to do.
yes, and and I thank you, because if I can help a sister,
Right,
and to do what it is that we're already doing, here's the
right,
model. Don't
right,
go and try to reinvent that wheel. Here you go.
right.
Don't
Because
do that.
I'm like, somebody know,
Yeah,
somebody know. Let me holler at Coco.
absolutely. And another sad thing about this here game, right?
Uh-huh.
It's cold. It's cold,
Yeah,
but it's fair.
right,
I'm just a person that's gonna be 100% transparent. If I got something, you don't have to pay me for that.
right,
You know, because
right,
you can't take nothing that God already given me.
right. And
So
I
here, take.
understand that. I understand that. I like if somebody I'm working on my book now. I had to
Hmm.
wait 2 years. So Dr. Turpin told me put me up on game, and y'all got me into that. So I'm patiently, putting it together and writing it. Then I'm gonna send it to the editor. It'll be out by the beginning of next year.
Yeah, then we'll be ready to go on tour. Maybe I'll drop the other book and we can do it together. You
Right,
know,
right.
uh,
And hit them with the heat.
you got to hit them, but you got to be ready
Yeah,
because you got to put in that work, because people need to know
right,
who you are, not just as Marv, or Clockwork. People want to know who is the author behind the writing.
right.
When I say you have to show up and show up, when I went on book tour, when I tell you folks was coming from everywhere, they was coming from everywhere. They
Yeah,
wanted to who wrote Honor Thy Bitch, because
right.
this sounds like my story. When you creating those characters in your head, that is somebody's story.
Okay.
And I did not know. I was just making up characters, as I see from my eyes. So
Right,
a lot of folks thought that that's Coco. That's Coco,
right,
because I know her. No, you don't. It's obvious that you don't know me because I made these characters up. I just took some lived experience, to make it just really real to my readers and put in
right.
there. That's not me. If you want to get to know me, then you just gotta wait for life goes on.
Right. But see,
You know,
you know what my thing was? Nobody spoke from my side. I know a
no,
lot of y'all was putting out books. I said somebody has to say something because that place was a trip. They were
hmm,
hiding a lot of their little racial issues, which
hmm,
was a good thing because when I first got there, the captain, a sister, the warden, a sister, there was a lot of, but when those people left, I was still there.
hmm,
And I
hmm,
saw it. I said, oh, y'all switching up now. The true
hmm.
colors are showing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The truth always surface.
Yeah.
Now,
And then, they had their chance to drag me for a minute. Y'all got me. I give it to them. I was like, okay. But I stood tall. I stood tall, but it's not a tell all. I just want to talk about the working in that environment, meeting some of the best people. Even when the men got there,
hmm,
meeting some of the best people outside of work,
Right.
and knowing that a lot of these people are really talented. You just got to tap into
Gotta tap into it.
it.
So let me tell you, even before you, when you first told me that you wanted to write this book, right? I promise you, I said, you know what, this should be a two-side book, right? And when I say two-side book, just say, let's take our sister, my sister Michelle West. She telling the story from a female inmate, right?
Right,
And the name of it is going to be called, her part is going to be Let the Truth Be Told. But now
right.
here comes you saying with your side, and you're going to say, let me hit you with the heat. There's going to be a two-side book. Well, once you read her part, you can flip that book. Now you telling the story. That's the number one seller right there. Cause you finna let it, you the title is Let Me Hit You with the Heat. Now you putting it out there. You feel what I'm saying? Cause you
We're going to
got
talk
me.
about that.
I'm telling you, listen here. People,
We going to have
people,
that conversation. We definitely going to have
man,
that conversation. We
that's
got
a
to.
number one seller because you got a formerly incarcerated woman telling her story from her vision, and
Right.
now you got a former officer telling his story. Let him hit you with the heat. They ain't ready for that.
And me and her interaction. Our
Yeah, and
interaction.
she telling her story, but we don't know your story because it was behind the scene. But you
Right.
knew all of ours
Right.
because what could we hide?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you have something to hide because hey, you was an officer. You cannot tell.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you can tell. But see, we can write what we want to write. So now we need to hear your side. The book that you just writing on now, we need to hear that side
Okay.
because the people need to hear it.
Right. And it's I'm keeping it a buck. Lieutenant Brown, he said, as long as you here, you'll end up under investigation. I took that and put it in my pocket, and then I seen it take form.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
I said, well, wait a minute. I had been there 16 years. So
So,
I was like, well, wait a minute, y'all trying to do me dirty right now.
mm-hmm.
When I saved more people than they could ever imagine. They have no idea. I've
No,
saved people.
yeah, and then that need to be told on how we was able to circumvent the system and how you was able to survive it
Right,
without getting into trouble.
right,
That story need to be told. We waiting on it because we
right.
want to know what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Well, what happened with this officer? What happened with this officer? With this, we want to know because we couldn't find out. We assume what happened. How we talked on the compound.
right,
We assume, but the story is still waiting to be told. And that the two people who write this book, man, TED Talk, let's go. Let's tell it. You know what I'm saying?
right,
People's story are being told, but we ain't hearing the story. We're not hearing the story from the other side. Cause we want
right.
truth.
I
We
want
want
to
truth.
put
We want
I,
facts.
I want to put this one out first and then go into what you're saying. And then we hit them with the heat. That's the heat
Yeah.
right there.
Just
Cuz
just
I seen
just
them.
keep it here.
I seen them.
Just
I
keep it here.
watched them.
Okay. Good
Watched them
stuff.
take cats out in handcuffs, man. And I was like, yo, what do you do? It was crazy. It was
I mean, we,
crazy.
I mean, we
People
don't
used to
witness.
ask me, what is it like? I said, I wouldn't be able to explain it to you. You would have to be in there. But the thing that helped me, I came from state of Georgia. Then I worked halfway house drug rehab. And then I
Right.
started working there in 2000. So all that experience helped me transition into that. And I didn't even tell them when I first started that I had that much experience. So that
Hmm.
kind of got me over, just to dealing with that. Like I said, I was scared, man. I ain't never worked around that many women in my life. It's like, yo, it's a lot of women in here. What is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my
Yeah.
mom, she used to have this little saying that she used to say when I was coming up. Okay. She said, them pissy tails are gonna be your downfall.
Period.
That's what she would say.
Period. Yeah. And
Yup.
that's why it was there to protect you from that.
Right. And I
We
was
know.
like,
We
yo.
know. We know those gutter rats. We know them.
And I am for ever indebted to y'all. And I appreciate you coming through. We got like 3 minutes. You're gonna send me that other contact information, and then
Yes.
this is all over the place.
Okay. Well,
This will be all over the place, and I really appreciate it. And tell Andrea them, look, you see my shirt.
yeah, I see the shirt free the mothers, daughters, sisters, and everybody. I see it. That's what I
Right,
like. I got on
right.
my shirt from when I went to Alabama. I took the kids on a trip.
Okay.
Yes.
You went
Yeah.
to the
So
museum down there?
huh?
You went to the museum down there?
Oh yes, I took yes. So yes,
How
we
was that?
graduated. Oh, when I tell you it's amazing, it's a beautiful thing to experience. So next year I'm getting ready to take 25 kids to Alabama because I really want these kids to experience what it was like for their ancestors.
My cousin is a cook. She lives down there.
You know what? When we get ready to do this here, then I'm gonna fly you in down there so you can help me with these young kids and give
She
them some
lives down
history.
there. Yep. And
Yeah, I
and
need that.
and she could get it popping if you need.
I
All
do
right.
need, and yeah, I just thank you so much for having me on,
Thank you.
and I appreciate it so much. I got my ladies upstairs waiting. We in the house meeting. I thank you so much. If anything that you need, please feel free. Don't
Right. God
hesitate.
bless you. God bless you. Keep doing your
God,
thing. I'm proud of you. If
thank you.
anybody proud of you, I'm proud of you. I know your family proud of you. And tell your sisters I send my love, okay? Thank
I
you for
will.
coming.
Peace.
For the people, by the people, about the people. Thank y'all for tuning in. The Clock Hour.